Hi, it's Katrina with Katrina and the team. We are realtors who are making a positive impact in our community. Today, we are here with David Brighton from Brighton Home Inspections, and we will be talking about how to prepare your home for a home inspection. Welcome, David.
Thanks very much.
We have a lot of listings, and of course, we experience our clients, preparing their home, and they ask us, what do I need to do? Do I have to start fixing everything? Well, the home inspection, the purpose of the home inspection is to find out if there's any problems with the home, if there's anything that needs to be repaired functionally, and to make sure that the new owner, the buyer who's buying the property, knows what they need to know about the property.
Exactly.
My approach is always to be proactive. And I always want to make sure that when I have a listing, it's ready for the home inspection so that the inspection will go smooth. What are the things that homeowners who are selling their property need to do to make this process easier for you? Not that it's the easy job, it just makes it more, how do you say this?
Accessible?
Exactly, accessible and faster, really, because if you have to do a lot of other things, it makes it longer and more frustrating for the buyers and the sellers. So
right.
What are the things that you can advise to make the home inspection process smooth?
Well, like any process, all inspections are based on a visual inspection. So preparing the home for access is key to any successful inspection. Whether it's access to the attic hatch, for example, crawl space, electrical panel, and under the sinks. So quite often, I'm sure the viewers have probably in their own personal lives, you open up the kitchen cabinets and there's a garbage can and garbage bags and cleaners and solvents and all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah.
So if they can remove, not all of it, but the majority of it, so at least we can take a look at the waste pipe, get underneath to take a look, see if there's any damage to the cabinet above where the faucet is. So those sorts of things can be really helpful. Excessive clutter, if the house has got a lot of excessive clutter, try to get it removed as best you possibly can, or even, quite frankly, even if you piled it in the middle of the floor, that would help tremendously too.
I always advise my clients, when we're listing their property, start packing. You're moving anyways, right?
Exactly.
And it makes the whole process easier, and the house is more inviting for the buyer. Yeah,
and from my perspective, when we're doing the debrief around those areas, it's much more proactive from the buyer's perspective if they know that I've had access to the entire home. Unfortunately, there's been a number of occasions where I haven't been able to access the attic hatch or crawl space or electrical panel, and that's a concern for the buyer, and rightfully so.
Yeah, well, speaking of attic, I've had a client who was upset that his clothes were on the bed after the inspection. So I would suggest, as a homeowner, if you know the attic is above the closet, and you don't want some, dust or anything that
insulation flowing.
Going on your clothes, just take the clothes off and put it on another room or something, just so then the inspector can have access to the attic and you don't have dirty clothes to dry clean or something. Yeah,
well, I've experienced a lot of women don't like males touching their clothes, and rightfully so. So it's easier if it's placed on the bed or moved away from that hatch. I clean up after myself. I always vacuum after, so there shouldn't be any insulation or dust on the clothes. But again, still, prepare it as best you possibly can.
It's comfort, right? It's comfort. Yeah. So the other one is when going into the crawl space. If the access is in one of the closets and if it's full, you can't get in. Like, you're not going to move everything.
Right. Within reason. If it's just a vacuum cleaner, for example, or a couple of brooms, that's fine. But if you've storage of hockey equipment or bottles, for example, if you've got recyclables all over the place, that kind of stuff, just try to make access to the inspector as best you possibly can.
Now, electrical panels. I know you want a certain clearance. It's for your safety.
Oh, absolutely.
For the safety
One of the most
the
dangerous aspects
people.
of the home is the electrical panel.
So how much clearance?
Well, again, just as long as there's access to it. There isn't a kayak. Shelving is another one that we quite often see. Someone's put shelving in there permanently and shut off access to it.
Yeah.
So try to, again, as much access as possible.
Okay, that's good. Access is important. And appliances, what about appliances? I know some inspectors inspect appliances, some inspectors don't.
Right.
Tell me your approach on this.
My approach is it's a functional test of the appliances. Once I go through the home, I turn on all the appliances to make sure that they're operating. I don't run an entire cycle, of course. So for example, I don't do the self-clean in the oven. I don't actually do laundry while I'm there. I don't do dishes while I'm there.
What?
I know, typical man, typical man. And the key is just to ensure that they are actually functioning. So I'll run the dishwasher on the quick cycle just to make sure it's not leaking and that it's draining properly. But other than that, it's a functional test, not a practical test. Keep in mind that the expectation of the inspection is it's a visual inspection, and without the access or the ability to see an item in the home restricts the ability to do the job.
Well, David, thank you very much for taking the time to share this information with us. If you need information about home inspections, please call David Brighton from Brighton Home Inspections. And if you're thinking of buying or selling a property, please feel free to give us a call or visit our website and send us an email.